Welcome to My Wife Left Me podcast. I'm Kevin, and I got Sean here today.
What's up?
We are recording this at midnight on June 19th, 2019.
Yep.
So it's a little late. Apologies if we're not
Just got off work.
Yeah, not as energetic, whatnot. I just got back from vacation. This man just got off work.
Yep.
But, yeah, so I went to Rehoboth this past couple days.
He did.
Also, wine shirts, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, that's
because we're going on a trip, so
in our favorite rocket
ship.
ship.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to Rehoboth this past weekend and got a little tan. I think.
I know. I kept giving you shit because
You kept saying I was red, but I wasn't even getting burned.
I think it was just the pictures and like the lighting and shit.
The lighting,
but it definitely made you look like super burned, especially on your face. But you don't look bad now.
Dude, I was reapplying like a fucking bitch.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you would have gotten burned down there and then like immediately.
I knew because I knew like I couldn't get burned down there.
Yeah, exactly.
OC would have been miserable.
Yeah.
But yeah, so today we went wine tasting.
Interesting.
At a winery.
I've never went wine tasting before.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting. I mean, they make their own wines, so they're like you go and there's like grapes growing like in the, in this farmland or whatever.
Yeah.
But I thought like they were gonna do the tasting like in a separate room, but the tasting is pretty much at the checkout counter, like where you first go in.
Oh, okay.
And so when you do it, this tasting is like $7 a person, and you get 6 samples of their wine.
Yeah.
And you can pick which ones you want. And which ones you want to try. So, I mean, they give you a pretty decent amount of wine. It's like a fourth of a glass. It's like probably a glass like that big maybe, and like that much of it is filled for each sample.
Right.
And you get 6.
Wasn't it a thing with wine tastings where like you're not supposed to aren't you supposed to like drink and then spit it out or something?
No, I mean they didn't tell us to do that.
Well, maybe that's something I've heard.
I mean, wine people are weird.
Yeah,
so
I was about to say.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah.
But so we go in and there's like this other older group. My uncle and I, this other older group was doing a tasting as well. So they took up this one counter.
Yeah.
And then we took up this other counter. So there was like no more room.
Oh.
And then like 2 other parties come in behind us, and they're like, the people working there are like getting frantic because they're getting busy.
Right.
And here we are, and you start to feel rushed when you're doing the tasting.
Right, yeah.
So basically, I mean, we're just chugging the wine. Like, I'm just throwing that bitch back. Like, because when there's people like standing around lingering, like waiting on you, you kind of get like.
I mean, I would just tell them to fucking wait. I mean, I would be like,
I mean, yeah, but. Yeah, I don't know. It's just.
I mean, if you're paying money for it, I mean, you shouldn't have to.
I mean, I think that they should have like a separate room for the tasting and then like another room for people waiting. But whatever. So when they give you the samples, you're supposed to like eat they give you crackers as well to like cleanse your palate in between.
Right.
And the wines were great, but. It was funny because this one, it was like a peach wine or something, and they would always like explain to you like what the wine's gonna taste like and like that what it's good with, what kind of meat, like and that kind of stuff. But for this one, it was like a peach wine, and she was like, okay, now I'm gonna give you a gingerbread cookie to go with. So I want you to take a sip of the wine, and then eat a cookie, and then take a sip, and you'll like feel the peach like come out like a lot.
You're right, stronger, yeah.
Yeah, and it did. It was cool. Like, the cookie, like, for some reason, it made it taste, like, really peachy.
That's interesting.
And so then my uncle and I go for another cracker. Because we're like, okay, we've just been told that this wine is best with these crackers.
Yeah.
So on our next sip, I would say there's about 4 gulps in each glass.
Okay.
Like, out of it. But, so we're like, okay, well, why would we drink it now without the crackers, right?
Yeah.
So we both take another cracker and eat it, and then start drinking. And then the woman like slides the like just grabs the crackers and like runs away with them. Like we were only supposed to take one.
Oh my God.
And my uncle and I, we were laughing, and we were like, there's no way those crackers are expensive. Like, I don't know why they're being so fucking stingy with them.
Yeah, that's weird.
But yeah, I mean, it was fun. And at the end, I mean, you probably have like a whole glass and a half of wine within like I don't know, 20 minutes or so. So, I mean,
Yeah.
you're feeling a buzz afterwards.
Right, yeah, so you're definitely feeling a little good.
It was funny because I posted like an Instagram picture of us like in front of the vineyard.
Yeah, I saw it.
And we were leaving and my uncle like pulls off on the side of the road. I'm like, "Are you all right?" Because he was feeling drunk too.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "Are you good?" Because I thought like something was wrong. He was like, "Oh no, we're just gonna take a selfie in front of the vineyard."
Oh, okay.
But it was funny.
That's funny. You're like, "You little fucked up."
Yeah.
Need me to drive.
I was like, "Why are we pulling over here?" But yeah, so when I got back, I watched Black Mirror season 5 episode 1.
Yeah, that was the one with Falcon, right? Okay.
Yeah, Anthony Mackie.
Mm-hmm.
And another MCU character in it too that you probably didn't realize, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
I mean, I'll start by I haven't seen all the Black Mirrors. Obviously, it's an anthology, so it doesn't really matter. But I really enjoyed it overall.
Wait, I know who the character is.
Okay.
Yeah. Are we gonna wait, or can I say?
Yeah, let's just wait until we get to it.
All right.
Actually, what's the guess of the character?
Manus.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I was about to say I knew when I was watching the episode.
Yeah, because I didn't know if you were gonna like guess the wrong character.
No, yeah, I got you.
Yeah, the music. I really like the music
and the scenery.
Throughout the whole, the shots are really good
when they're in the VR. I mean, like obviously it's like it's supposed to emulate a video game, but I mean it looks really good. I mean, all the visuals.
Also, there was like the visual where like, was the Carl was the other guy's name.
Yeah,
I don't know Anthony Mackie's name, and
yeah,
so I'm just calling him Anthony. But
yeah,
when he was like going like this and it like switched to like Anthony doing the same thing, I noticed that. But so basically, we're gonna get into spoilers if you
giant spoiler alert.
The episode.
Yeah,
but the overall synopsis is basically these two good friends are, they were friends from it seemed like college, and then they grow up and they both one of them has family, the other one doesn't.
They get distant.
They reconnect, and the Carl, the guy who doesn't have a family, gives Anthony Mackie's character this new VR game.
It was a version of a game they used to play back in like college or whatever. Yeah,
a fighting game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like the VR is like there's no headset. It's like a little dot that you put on your temple.
Yeah, and in Black Mirror, like the VR like gaming stuff is like done with like that because like in the horror episode when the dude's in the house.
Is it the same
thing.
Tech?
Yeah, and the one the spaceship. You know the guy that like control. Okay, well. They do the same thing with that too. It's like the thing.
I didn't realize the tech like I thought it was just like
because I saw it in the episode. I was like, oh, okay, that's a nice little
interesting. So it's still the same world, just different stories. But So and then they are saying how we should like be like reconnect and try to do more like often because they used to be good friends. So,
right?
Like, they should hang out more. And so, getting into spoiler territory now. Final warning. They play this VR game, and there's tension between Anthony Mackie's and his wife's character because she wants another baby. So there's some tension there. But so then Carl invites Anthony Mackie, to play this game in the new VR thing, and I mean, first off. I didn't love it. I guess I did love it. How creepy it looked when they went into the VR. Like, it was like, that was kind of scary.
Yeah, no, it was super interesting.
They were just slumped back and their eyes, like, glossed over.
Yeah.
I like that. But
I think it's, because it was the same thing in the other episodes.
Do they gloss over like that?
Yeah, they conk out, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did like that. So they get into this game, and they're pretty much in it. I mean, it's fully.
Oh yeah, they're fully immersed into it.
So off the rip.
So let's say first as well, Carl is a female character. I can't remember.
Roxix or something.
Yeah, whatever her name is, and then
Anthony
is
this Asian guy.
Yeah, some Asian guy in the episode, some Asian fighter.
So they picked their character.
Mm-hmm. And that was who they picked when they were in college as well.
Yeah. And so off the rip, they're fighting, and Carl's kicking Anthony's ass. And like I was thinking, when they were fighting, and I saw Palm in it. Palm, I don't know how to. And I was like, she's fucking like super hot.
Yeah.
So I was thinking before the twist happens.
Yeah.
I was thinking that I was gonna bring up on the podcast tonight. I was gonna be like, I was gonna bring up, oh, is it gay if you fuck your homie in a VR? Like, I was literally thinking that. I was like, because I didn't know where the episode was going.
Yeah, right.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna bring that up on the pod.
Your mind literally went to the way that episode.
And then, yeah, and then I mean, they make out in the VR game.
They fuck.
Well, they didn't fuck in the first time.
Right.
They just made out.
Right.
And then I was like, oh shit, so we're going there. So then after the first time, they disconnect and like, all right, that's kind of weird. Like,
right.
it made me feel super awkward just watching it, you know? Like, I just don't, what the fuck would
every
you do?
Every gamer that plays with like his homies just felt so insecure watching that episode. You're like,
yeah,
what the fuck? You're like, how do I react to this?
I just like the social awkwardness of doing that, because the way I'm looking at it is the VR in this futuristic world is completely immersive.
Right, yeah.
You're getting feelings like, I mean, it's basically like,
I mean, that's what they say later in the episode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Carl's describing it. He's like, oh, I've never
exactly
had anything like this before.
The VR is like, it's not like the VR, you know, now, obviously. It's fully immersive.
Right.
And so they really don't talk a lot, but they keep like going back into the VR.
Yeah.
And then they end up fucking.
Right. Which is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's so weird.
It's so weird, but like
only Black Mirror would do it.
And then you're like, oh, Palm is so hot though. And then you're like, oh, but it's a black guy. And then you're like, what is happening?
And when they talk to each other, they're like talking to each other like bros, and like it's so weird. It's
dude, when they like pillow talk, it was like when I think Carl was like laying on the lap of Anthony.
Yeah.
And he was like stroking her. I was like, this is so weird. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
like
super uncomfortable.
Yeah. And basically it gets to the point where they're only fucking. That's a relationship.
They're not even fighting anymore.
They're not just talking. Yeah. They're not, well, I mean, like, they're not talking in the real world.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They're just fucking.
Yeah, yeah.
And basically it gets to the point where Anthony's wife thinks that he's like cheating or like something's up,
right? Because he won't fuck her.
And it is interesting because like while he isn't technically cheating, he is mentally, because like,
yeah,
I mean, we really don't understand, but like that would fuck you up.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, mentally that would just,
yeah. I mean, it's also the fact of the way the VR works as well in Black Mirror.
Yeah.
That, like, the fact, like you were saying, it's all physical. You can feel everything. You can, you know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't understand how much that would, like, actually.
Yeah. Well, the thing that's weird, too, is that throughout the episode, Anthony's character, he fucking, like, wants to. It's like he wants to stop. Like, there's, like.
Yeah. He feels guilty because of his wife.
And at first, he was like, it seemed like he was okay with it, but then he definitely starts to feel more guilty as it goes on.
Yeah, for sure. And once his wife, like, they go to, like,
it's like their anniversary dinner.
It's their anniversary dinner, and his wife's like basically calling him out and being like, look, like, we haven't even fucked in a while. And like, first off, we missed this weird part, but when his wife texts Anthony and is like, yo, anniversary dinner.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, and said something like, sorry, X, or something like that.
No, she was like, she texted him and was like, something about the fact, like hinting towards it. She's like, important, like, thing tonight. It was like, oh, what's going on? It was like anniversary. Thanks for that. Like, that's how his wife responded.
But somebody said sorry, and then with an X, like an XO.
It might have been him, because he was probably apologizing the fact that he didn't remember it.
And then he went to Carl and said, hey, I won't be on tonight. And then he was like contemplating saying sorry, X.
Yeah.
Like an affectionate thing to him. Like in the real world.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he didn't end up doing that, but so she basically calls him out, and then he cuts off cold turkey from virtual fucking.
Right, and meanwhile Carl is like trying to like hook up with like random people, but it's like
he's like the player,
right? But for him, like even just some random person that he like fucks, it's like not the same. For him.
Like can't even get off. He gets to the point where he like
he's just can't. Yeah, just gamer problems. You can only come to VR.
Yeah. So, So Anthony cuts off cold turkey, and then it like jumps 7 months,
Mm-hmm.
and from there, like he's doing good with his marriage.
Yeah, and I think they have another kid.
Yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, she's pregnant.
Or yeah,
she's pregnant.
Yeah, you're right.
And so they're having like a dinner, and his wife's like, "Oh, we're eating for 3," and you assume it's for the baby.
Yeah.
He's like, "No, I invited Carl over."
And you're like,
oh shit,
fuck.
This scene at the dinner table when his wife leaves,
so uncomfortable.
and Carl's like, "Oh, dude." Like, literally, I don't know. It's just Carl's like, "Oh, you want to fuck this pussy?" And like,
yeah,
I mean, you want to fuck my pussy.
Fuck my pussy. I mean, that goes back to the point of like what we were saying with the VR, the fact that it's like all physical and like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because he was saying, I know he says in the episode, he's like, which is again super weird, but he's like, I tried everything, man. He's like, I tried computer players, they just don't do anything.
Yeah.
I tried other online players. He's like, they're just not the same. He's like,
and then he said he fucked the polar bear. Remember?
he's like, I even fucked a polar bear.
Yeah, that was funny. But I mean, with the way he was trying to like tease Anthony and be like, "Oh, you want to fuck this?"
Yeah,
like,
and he was like, I'll be on at midnight.
Yeah,
he's like, I'll see you there.
Yeah,
basically, it was like, oh, what the fuck, dude.
And also, we should go back. They did have a conversation where Anthony asked Carl, like, "How is it to be the woman?"
Yeah,
and he was basically saying, "Oh, it feels like amazing."
Yeah.
First off, I think it's mainly gay for Carl because he's a woman.
Definitely.
Like, that's sus.
Yeah, but
if you're going VR and you're VRing as a chick
woman,
and you're being fucked.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's still pretty sus either way you look at it. I mean, it's definitely less sus for Anthony.
It's very sus.
Yeah, but it's still like you're fucking your homie. Like whether it's real or not,
it had to be no talking.
Yeah, exactly.
It had to be no talking. The fact that they were talking, it was just like that should just like kill it. You know, like,
I mean, I guess it's different because it's not like their voices. Because
but you still know it's them.
But that is something important we should add is that in
the
episode,
it wasn't their voices,
right? It's the characters' voices that they're playing as in the game. Yeah, so it is female, male, you know. But yeah, go ahead.
I mean, if you just pick those scenes from the show and just only played those scenes, you would see nothing, wrong with it.
No, that's true.
2 people just fucking.
Yeah, I mean, it would be definitely kind of weird at first. You'd be like, "Why is this fighting?"
Well,
game?
yeah, it'd be like a fighting game that turns into a fuck fest. And he also did mention how they like had orgies or something.
Oh,
he definitely mentioned that they had like multiplayer orgies.
Yeah, well, I think that was when he was talking about like him trying other stuff to try to like get the same effect. Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and then what happens after that? I'm trying to remember.
So he tells him at 12.
Right,
he'll be on, and Anthony can't sleep, and then he breaks and goes back for one final fuck.
One final front.
Yeah, so they fuck. I mean, I can't Palm, if you like look into like her backstory, like it's pretty fucked up. Like I'm pretty sure her parents like died and some shit.
Really?
Like, yeah. I mean, she's a babe.
Yeah, no, she is super attractive. But...
yeah, and she's like her voice is like perfect for like that character.
Oh
too.
yeah, definitely.
And like the mantis was definitely like coming out of her.
Yeah, that's how I knew it was her, because like when I saw her, I was like, she looks really familiar for some reason.
Well, some of her mannerisms too were like exactly how Mantis is.
That's fair.
Yeah. So then they frank, and what does happen after that? And then he's like, "Oh, Carl says I love you."
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. And then Anthony's like, "Whoa, like bro."
Yeah, he's like, "Hold the fuck up."
Yeah.
He's like, "We were just fucking."
Like, pause, chief.
Hold up a second.
I've done that. But that's another story.
Wait, what?
When you slip one out in the heat of the moment. I was foolish.
Really?
I did.
Amateur mistake. It's okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm just giving you shit.
So then he's like, "All right, we need to like meet in the real world and like figure this out."
Right.
So they meet in these dumpsters and like they're like, I love this is a pretty funny scene at first, and he's like, "All right, we need to kiss and like see if it's if it's us or if it's just the in-game chemistry." And so Carl's like kind of pushing him, and Anthony's like, just kiss me. Like,
yeah, he's like, just do it.
Yeah, that was funny. And they kiss, and they said they didn't feel anything.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I had Anthony's like face in it.
Really?
I had the thought that he might be gay. I had the thought that he might have like, because Carl said first, "Oh, it was nothing," and Anthony's like, "Yeah, it's nothing," or like something like that. So I thought that maybe it was like
could have been
gonna be like him being gay,
right?
And then so they get into a fight. His wife picks him up and is like, "What the fuck is going on? Like, why are you fighting?" And she's like getting mad at him. And then you never see what Anthony says to her, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, no, they definitely did that on purpose.
So I didn't know if he was gonna say. At first I thought he said I'm gay. That's what I first thought.
Right.
But I think from the end that we find out that he basically
made a compromise.
Yeah, he basically fessed up and said, I was cheating, basically, with Carl in this video game.
Well, it seems like with the ending, it's like they
have a certain day where they can cheat. Yeah.
Right. Because at the end, just for everyone that wants to know, it ends with like Anthony going into the VR with Carl, and they're about to.
Well, they're all happy,
right? And they're about to
and they have a new baby.
Yeah, and they're about to frank.
And there's like an X on the calendar for a certain day.
Right. And then his wife is going out to like some bar, and she's like taking off her ring, and like she's kind of like flirting.
So she has a day of frank. So basically, they set up a day where they can.
Each frank, someone else,
and then you see Carl and Anthony franking in VR, and then it ends.
Yeah,
I mean, I thought it was great.
I mean, Black Mirror is always like super interesting. All the episodes are like really. They have just so much detail in them, and like stuff that you wouldn't pick up on like just one watch.
When I was watching, I was thinking all right, like why wouldn't you just get an e-girl? In this situation, like think about it.
Yeah, that's true.
You meet a chick online and then you just frank her brains out in VR. Like and then it wouldn't be weird.
That's true.
You know, if you were straight.
Yeah.
But I guess then you would really be cheating though.
Yeah, at
because
that point.
there really is no different. If VR, you get touch and everything, it's pretty much cheating, right?
Yeah, more or less.
So I guess it was less cheating because it was they both weren't gay. Yeah, and it was the homie.
Right.
But I just kept thinking about how they needed e-girls.
Yeah. No, I mean, that is true. I mean, yeah, that episode, that one, you should definitely watch the Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus one.
Maybe next week we'll talk about episode 2 and just kind of.
Yeah, I need to rewatch that. Or I need to watch that, actually.
Yeah. So now we have a little meme video.
You like memes?
Don't let your memes be dreams, people. This is this reporter. And he is like setting up a school, like a homecoming thing, saying, "Oh, get ready for homecoming and shit."
Right.
And yeah, so that is the setup, and we're starting right now.
And gosh, do we love a day like this? It's going to be so fun. If you haven't been to a high school football game in a while. This is one to come to for sure. This is going to be high school ball at its highest level. So, if you love...
I think this dude's on cocaine today.
Faces like those on a nice late summer night, early fall night, it's going to be a fun time. I like to wade into the band. Because you know what you don't get very often? Marching baritones. Here's one right here. Plus... You know I love the tuba. It's one of my favorite instruments. Listen to
this. He lost the microphone.
He lost his mic down the tuba.
Bro, come on.
Imagine.
That's not a tuba, by the way.
Oh, what is it?
It's a sousaphone.
Oh, a sousaphone.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Did he get it out?
It looked like
it's stuck in the valve someplace.
No.
Uh-oh, boy, you're going to get yelled at.
He's going to have to buy that guy a new instrument. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is.
He's good.
victory. We'll see you again soon.
Like how he says victory as if he didn't just like fuck up super hard.
Yeah. So that was that. Dude looked like coked out of his mind. Some people thought it was fake.
I love how they said in the thing how they called the name of the instrument wrong.
Yeah,
so he's like, I love the tuba. It's my favorite instrument.
Yeah,
it's like, bro, it's not even a fucking tuba.
His coworker just calls him out for that. He was all over the place, like moving around.
He's so jacked too. About a high school fucking whatever the fuck that was.
He reminds me of like. He definitely reminds me of like somebody, like almost like the Grinch. Honestly,
you think so?
He could be a good Grinch.
Cast that dude, just some random fucking dude as the Grinch.
I don't know. He seemed like he had the mannerisms of a good Grinch.
I mean, like you said, I think he was just coked up. I mean, if that's a good mannerisms for the Grinch, I mean, go for it. But
I mean, Jim Carrey.
Yeah, he's coked up.
Yeah, so
that's fine.
Now we have a little news story, which I thought was cute. I guess not cute. I guess not. It's not that cute. So apparently, puppy dog eyes are a product of domestication. And basically, dogs, like, since they've been domesticated, they've developed a facial muscle that's let them do puppy dog eyes.
Really?
Because it makes, humans respond to that.
Mm-hmm.
So it says, today, pooches use the muscle to raise their eyebrows and make a baby-like expression. That muscle is virtually absent in their ancestors, the wolves. You don't typically see such muscle differences in species that are that closely related. So it basically goes on to explain how dogs and wolves, how that muscle has changed. There's
right.
A diagram, everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So scientists recorded 27 dogs and 9 wolves as each stared at a person. Pet pooches frequently and intensely pulled back their eyebrows to make sad expressions, while the wolves rarely made these faces and never with great intensity. So basically they concluded that researchers believe dogs over their relatively short 33,000 years of domestication use this eye muscle to communicate, possibly goading people to feed or care for them, or at least take them out to play, and people perhaps unwittingly oblige. So basically we've been conned.
I mean, that's like cats, too. I mean, cats make some kind of fucking sometimes.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a natural selection type thing. Like
This. Well, oh, definitely. I mean, it makes sense because, I mean, you think about dogs. I mean, more dogs are out and around people rather than, I feel like, in the wild.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it makes sense that they're kind of adapting to become that way,
Yeah, but it's interesting that you adapt by creating a new muscle.
I mean, if we're gonna talk about dogs as well, like my fucking dog, Mr. Gunman, shout out to him. He's fucking weird, dude. You want to talk about a weird dog that sits like a human? My dog literally sits like a human.
Yeah.
And now he watches TV, like intently watches TV. Like he'll like we have a TV in our living room downstairs, and it's like it's on like normal level, so he can go right up to it.
He'll just sit and just watch.
Oh, he'll just watch. If he sees dogs on the TV, he'll freak out. I mean, obviously that's a normal thing.
I mean, my dogs don't really react to the TV that much.
Really?
Yeah.
But like I'll be in like my room and I have a TV mounted on my wall in my room, and like he'll watch TV, or if I'm watching a movie, he'll just sit there and watch it. So I think dogs are really fucking smart.
Yeah.
Like they pick up a lot of shit. So I'm not surprised that they pick that up.
Maybe Gunman is the next stage of dog evolution.
I know. It's the sitting thing like just gets me every fucking time, dude.
Yeah, it's funny. So we're going to OC this coming week. So we
indeed
figured we'd talk about our last, not last, but our last big escapade at. No, you don't know where I'm going, gamer. You like jumping the gun.
I like jumping.
Our last big escapade at OC, which was senior week.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
where you're going.
No, I thought you were saying like our last trip to OC.
Oh, no, I know. Week. No, I know.
That's what I thought you were saying.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
So we're gonna just talk a little about our senior week.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll start it off. My fucking place was a shithole.
So was mine.
And basically, I mean, it was in like a courtyard area where like a whole bunch of apartments like kind of centered on that one main courtyard, and like people would be out there with like can jam and shit, and like.
What street did you stay on? Do you remember? Because I was on 10th. I was in like the fucking ghetto of OC.
Yeah, that 10th, Jesus Christ. Dude.
Yeah, dude, it was my place is a shithole too, but you can continue.
So basically, we had the door open the entire time because, you're having people coming in and out. So
Yeah.
basically, we have the door open the entire time. I just remember just the couch. You'd be sitting on the couch and like flies would literally just like land on you. Like, dude, it was so nasty.
Well,
like,
you're like, obviously, we're not going to say like who was in your senior week group. I remember who was in your senior week group.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised to hear that. Even like mine, like I'm not going to say any of their names, but it was it was okay. But even them, I regretted going with them just because I didn't have that good of a time. But
I mean, the nights were fun, but actually living there was awful because
no, you wouldn't. Yeah. Well, that's the other kind of point, not to interrupt you, but like with those shitty ass places down in OC, it's literally just for sleeping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
like,
100%.
Like you would just need to get the fuck out, like during the day.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was it was on a lake too. Like you could
Really?
literally like put your legs over like the edge. Like it was.
Damn. Were you guys Bayside or were you Oceanside? Do you remember?
Bayside.
Bayside. Yeah. So same with mine.
I mean, it was a nice place, but I guess just us having that door open and just brought in the flies and like
the fact that you guys had the fucking door open is like so dumb.
I mean, we would just be bumping music and people would just be like coming in and out, And
they're like sketchy about that.
Yeah, I mean, we had people like come in.
Yeah, I was about to say you
and
could
like
have random
steal.
people.
No, people we knew from school.
Really?
I'm pretty sure I think I've told you who it is.
You'll have to tell me after.
But yeah, they went in. I remember them coming into our place and just like rummaging through, like going into our bedrooms where like me and a couple other people were sleeping, and like just going through like like drawers and shit.
That's bullshit, dude.
Yeah, and just like so scummy.
Pissed.
I mean, I was fucked up, so like I was just kind of sitting back, like I was in no state to like.
No, I mean that's fair. But I still, even as soon as I found out when I was sober, I'd have been like, what the fuck, dude?
Oh, yeah, no, I was.
Yeah,
but...
I mean, I bet you were.
And then, yeah, so, I mean, we ended up leaving early because
really
it was just so bad to live in. But yeah, you can talk a little bit more about yours.
Yeah, I mean, mine was pretty shit as well. I mean, thankfully, mine kind of picked up the second half of the week. The first half, I was with, a group of guys. There was a straggler that came along with my group. I'm pretty sure I told you. If not, I'll tell you after. But a straggler that I didn't want to be with my group came, and he was there. And of course, he almost caused a lot of problems. We stayed in this shitty ass motel on 10th Street. It was called the Beach Bum Inn. I remember clear as fucking day. It was so garbage.
Was it one bedroom?
It was 2 beds. I think it was 2 queens.
Yeah.
There was one of the guys I was with had like a cot or something that he was sleeping on, and then there was a bathroom, and that was it.
Did more than one of you sleep in the queen bed?
It was 2 of us, and then someone slept on something that they had, and then another person slept on a cot. It was fucking weird. Basically, my senior week group basically went from 4 people to 2 after the first day because 2 of the guys I was with, they went out to go get pussy basically, and I never saw them for the rest of the trip.
They're just out.
The one dude I was with just sat in the fucking hotel, basically in our place the entire time, so I just didn't want to be with them. And
yeah, your group was kind of whack.
Yeah, my group was pretty whack. But thankfully I met up with some buddies of mine, some other friends of mine, like halfway through the week, because they hit me up and they were like, what are you doing? And so I hung out with them, and that was really fun. Like we went to Jolly Rogers while we were down.
Yeah.
It was just like a giant group of us. We went like super early. So that was cool. We went to the boardwalk, and I won a pet tiger, or one of those stuffed tigers for a friend of mine, and they still have it in their house.
Nice. Did you fuck him?
Yeah, I fucked them right there.
Good. I love that. That's always the movie trope. It's like you win something and you give it to your girl, and she just fucking slobs down.
Well, no, yeah, I mean, I'll tell you about that after, but I mean, that was more or less mine. I mean, again, mine wasn't very eventful either, because at that time I wasn't like drinking or doing anything, so I was pretty vanilla.
It's pretty mild.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
So it was another interesting thing too was, police would just be parked out in front of our courtyard.
Really?
Like we would just I would just peek out the door and just see like 2 or 3 cop cars just waiting for like somebody to just come out, just like belligerently drunk and just, get them. But so that was interesting. So every time that would happen, like we would just fucking just blare the music and just fucking.
We actually had a security or some kind of like thing actually come around to the doors in my place that I was staying at because, again, you could smell marijuana, you could see whatever, and so they were checking the rooms and stuff, and we almost got.
They would go in your rooms and check?
Well, they would like knock on the door and just, see what was going on. Yeah. But like one of the straggler that came along with my group, he almost got us fucking kicked out.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty close. But
what did he do?
He had stuff in our room that he wasn't supposed to have, alcohol mainly. And so we were like, get it the fuck out because we're not, 21.
And you let the security guard search?
No, thankfully he kind of just stood outside. I think he was more so checking the other rooms, but they were kind of checking like everything just because they smelled weed. Mm-hmm. So that was just kind of sketch, but
interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, someone I stayed with, brother, you might know.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
He like pulled a knife on somebody at like one of our classes, like big parties.
I can't. Because I know who you're talking about, I can't say I'm surprised, but that's.
I remember him. I remember him coming back and just being like so hyped up, and we are like, "What the fuck like happened?"
He was hyped up,
like being like, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking kill him," like like that kind of shit.
Bro, yeah, that's yikes. That's a big old yikes.
Another thing too, I was trying to juggle chicks at the time.
Were you?
And that fucking grenade bombed me in the face.
No. Juggling chicks blows up in your face.
Could I have been, I don't know, immature?
No.
And blinded? No, it couldn't be me. But yeah, I remember like they like found out about each other because I was
that is.
Yeah.
You hate to see it.
I was just like, oh my God, I was just fucking, because I was already in a state of mind where I'm just.
Right.
I mean, the whole time you're just absolutely just.
Oh,
I mean, if you're drinking,
yeah, exactly.
You're just fucking. But so when that happened, I remember like looking at my phone, seeing one of them being like texting me. It was like, be like, "Oh, you fucking asshole! Like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? You don't think we know what you're doing and shit." Like, and I was just. I just started. I think I'm pretty sure I cried. Like I was just fucking.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. I mean, I guess like when you get fucking.
Well, see,
when you get found like that, it's like,
I mean,
yikes.
I think
it's like, what do you do?
Yeah. Well, one of them, I was like interested in potentially dating.
Oh, okay.
But there was a reason why I didn't go in because like I was going off to college and she was living away from where we live, like for the summer. So there was no point. So that's why I was talking to other chicks.
I got you.
And then like when it all blew up, I was like, well, shit, I just kind of ruined like, a chance with her. But it was whatever.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
But I'm trying to think what else happened. I mean, I don't know if we should say his name. Starts with there's some stories about him.
Yes. I know exactly who you're talking about. I know he will also know what he's talking. Yeah, I mean, we may as well just say it.
He was wilding the fuck out.
He knows. I mean, you're watching this right now. I know you're fucking watching it. I know you're wilding out. Bro, I saw this man while we're talking about it.
He was all over the place.
I remember I think it was the first day we got there. I was going up to the boardwalk with the group that I was with, and we went and got food, and then we went back onto the boardwalk, and we see this man just walking down the boardwalk, just absolutely fucked out of his mind. And he's just like wandering. I'm pretty sure he was by himself. I don't even know if he recognized me when I said it.
He stayed at my place.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's also another funny story from that too. But,
okay.
But would stay at my place and he would just be gone. Like,
oh yeah.
And I remember the first time we like as a group, we would try to like hang out and they like invited us to do shit before to like try to build up a bond because I really didn't know like I wasn't that close with any of them there. Like it was probably the closest, but and so we're like, okay, we're all gonna take the first shot together, like the ringleader, I guess you could say, who.
Yeah, I know.
he was like, all right, we should, like, let's all take a first shot. And then takes his shot, like, in front of everybody, like, before us. And then, like, they all get just pissed at, you know, like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you just took that shot. Like, why you couldn't wait, like, 1 second to take it without us? And then, like, from that moment on, that man just, like, was dipping out of there.
I don't blame him. I mean, looking at, again, because I'm pretty sure I remember who was all in your group, and I honestly don't blame him. I wouldn't have blamed you if you would have fucking done the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't there that much, but I mean, we had
you were
shit
also
going on there at night, so it was kind of like...
You're right. At that point.
Yeah. The other fucking thing, too, was I had a chick come over and who was going to stay in the house with us.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so she was friends with one of the chicks I was talking to at the time.
Okay.
And me being just a fucking dumbass. I mean, for one, she had no idea what she was getting into because she was texting me and she was like, I don't have a place to stay. And I was like, well, you can stay, like, with me.
Right.
And, I mean, obviously when she came in, she probably saw that the place was fucking a shithole.
Yeah, she was like, what the fuck?
And flies, like, flying in her fucking pussy and shit. Like, it was just trash. And I remember she was, like, doing her, like, makeup or shit in the bathroom. I was, like, standing out, like, just, like, talking to her.
Yeah.
And I guess I was putting on the old Kevin charm.
Oh, the Kevin charm.
The Kevin Lucky Charms.
Oh, no.
And she was like, well, you know, I'm really good friends with, the girl I was talking to at the time. I was like, oh, yeah, I know.
Like, oh, I know.
She never ended up spending a night. Like, she came, she brought her shit, and then I'm pretty sure she just saw the fucking...
Saw what a shithole it was. She was like, yeah, I'm out. She's like, I'd rather stay in the street.
Yeah, I'd rather not have a place to stay than stay in here, honestly, but...
That's so savage.
Yeah.
Yeah, senior week... See, the thing with me, too, with senior week is, like, it's overshadowed for me because for me, when I went to senior week and I came back, I was home for a couple days and then I immediately went out to the Dominican Republic. That was literally like right after senior week. And then I had a fucking dope time down there with my family.
Well, that's good.
But yeah, senior week was just kind of for me. I wasn't really
I also
that
have
excited.
another funny story. We just keep fucking rolling from senior week. So Captain America Winter Soldier came out a year before our senior week.
Okay.
And that's like my favorite MCU movie. But,
right.
So there's a scene in it where Cap and Black Widow are like undercover and trying to evade people that are coming after them.
Yeah.
And they kiss and they're like, oh, kiss. And they say like kissing makes people uncomfortable. So they'll look away from you.
Right.
So they did that so people wouldn't recognize them.
Okay.
And so my fucking dumbass, keep in mind, I'm drunk as shit.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, go figure.
Come on, yeah. I keep saying that because I wouldn't actually do this if I was fucking sober. Maybe I would. Maybe if ladies out there, if this would work on you, hit me up.
Put it in the comments.
So I was with this girl at the time who, she was just there. I mean, she was in our class.
Okay.
Pretty sure she was dating someone at the time.
Interesting. You're gonna have to tell me afterwards.
But I mean, she wasn't with him at the time, so it was. I was like, whatever.
Okay.
I'm not getting into like, the relationship. I'm not gonna like pry.
No.
And so we're on the boardwalk.
Okay.
I'm like gone. And
right.
Like, clearly, I think I was with I forget what we called her in the first episode, but
it's fine. Just go with another name.
Melissa.
Okay. Melissa. All right.
And so I was with her and like her group at the time. And so I was talking to this chick and I was very drunk and they were like kind of making fun of the fact that I was drunk. And because it was obvious, right?
Right.
And so there was cops on the boardwalk. And as we were going by, I said to this girl, I was like, if we make out, they won't look at us because they makes them uncomfortable.
Did it work?
No.
I mean, it was worth a shot.
It's worth a shot.
I mean, may as well try it while you're drunk.
The old winter soldier
The
tactic.
winter soldier pickup line.
I tried to be a winter soldier.
Try to game on a chick.
Try to game on a man.
I mean, again, the best time to try that shit out is when you're fucked
drunk.
up, because then you can't really
I
regret
mean,
it.
it's not like I got denied. Like she was like laughing about it. Like,
Right? Yeah.
It wasn't, you know.
Yeah, but you didn't.
It didn't happen though.
Right? Yeah. But at least she laughed at it. I mean, that's something at least.
Yeah. I mean, another scenario too. This girl that was dating this guy in my senior week house.
Mm-hmm.
I was like talking to one of her friends.
Right.
Like literally just talking. Like I'm pretty sure I wasn't even fucked up. At this
Yeah.
point. Because like she had just like been talking to someone in our class, like, and she was upset, and so I was just like talking to her, and like this dude's girlfriend comes out and it's like, Kevin, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Like, why are you talking to her? Like, Jesus Christ, like, who the fuck you think you
I know
are?
who
Like,
you're talking
why?
about.
Yeah, like, why are you trying to like put the moves on her? Like, after she just like went through this thing, I'm like, holy shit, like, fucking chill. And like we were cool, like
Yeah.
and she just like popped off, and everybody was like, "What the fuck?" And even the girl I was talking to was like, "Oh, he like wasn't even, you know."
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean that's just people overreacting to dumb shit. I mean,
that was
who
just
fucking cares.
Yeah, that was just interesting though. But
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah. See, again, mine wasn't that significant, so I don't really. There's not really much to say from mine. I mean, I've pretty much said everything.
oh, I do have another story.
Okay.
So I'll have to tell you who this is because
Yeah, I
it's
was
good
gonna
once
say,
it's
yeah.
good once you know who it is.
Yeah.
I'll have to tell you after.
Okay, that's fine.
But, this girl who was in our class.
Okay.
She played basketball. She played sports and stuff. Let's
Okay.
see if you'll know who it is. She was just like wandering the streets one night,
Okay.
and she was just crying, and I was walking as well,
Mm-hmm.
and I like came across her and I was like, "Oh, hey, like what's up?" Because we went to school together, so
yeah.
she was like literally hysterical, like, "Oh my god, I'm lost. Like I don't know where the fuck like to go and shit. Like what the fuck's going on?" And I like helped her. I got her on like a bus or something, and like, or I called one of her friends or something. I honestly forget how I
Solved the
helped her, but I
issue,
definitely helped her get back like
Right, to where she needed to be.
and like something happened like between her and her friend group or something.
Really?
And so like I remember she made this Instagram afterwards. And like the next day, and fuck, I'm gonna have to like go back and look, but it was something about like from that night.
Oh, really?
And I like commented on it, and I was like, I said something like, "Oh, glad I could help," or like some shit like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. That was just another interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I know who
happening.
that is. You'll definitely have to clear that up.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah, I think that pretty much. We'll hopefully have some interesting stories once we get back from OC for upcoming week.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that.
So if you're listening to this now, we are in OC
Currently,
gaming,
as we do.
and yeah. So Sean, give your plugs.
Yep. So just Twitch, just AnAbusiveYeti at twitch.com.
Yep. I'm Kev Gordy on Twitter. Vybranium with a Y on Twitch. You can follow our accounts at WifeLeftMePod on Twitter and Instagram, and My Wife Left Me podcast on YouTube if you want to watch the video version. And yeah, beach time.
Ready for beach.
It's time for the beach.
Pizza time, beach time.
Yes.